Vo2max is the highest level of oxygen at the body consumed per unit time.
The Vo2max test is a reliable and valid way of determining somebody's cardiorespiratory performance, and this has a direct correlation to fitness capacity and overall sports performance.
Vo2max can be tested using two ways, either the indirect way, which is using the prediction model, using the field tests such as the yo-yo and the bleep test, or the direct method, which uses highly expensive equipment and is usually tested in the lab, but it is very reliable and valid. We'll ask you to sign an informed consent and release of liability form.
Okay. So this will show us if there's any error in the calibration of the air. We're going gas and I'll calibrate the air. But before that, I'll take this turbine, stick it in here, and I'll just press air.
The gas on there?
Yeah, and then okay. Last name, date of birth. Now I'll put his height and his weight.
The Vo2max test will take place on a treadmill using the modified Heck protocol. A fixed inclination will be set throughout the test to mimic wind resistance. The athlete will start the warm-up phase, which is comprised of 3 minutes at a pace of 4.8 kilometers an hour for 1 minute, then 6 kilometers per hour for another minute, and finally 7.2 kilometers an hour for the final minute. After the warm-up is complete, the Vo2max protocol will commence. The treadmill will increase its speed to 8.4 kilometers an hour and hold that for 2 minutes. It will then increase to 9.6 kilometers an hour for another 2 minutes, 10.8 kilometers an hour for an additional 2 minutes, and it will keep on progressing like this. The test will cease when the participant is incapable or unwilling to continue. The testers may also intervene and stop testing if they feel the athlete's heart rate reaches unsafe levels or respiratory values rapidly drop.
Now that we've done the test, it's time to understand the results.
But first, we need to understand the definition behind the various parameters that we've tested.
Alright, first thing you want to learn is minute ventilation, or VE, which is defined as the volume of air which passes through the lungs in 1 minute. Next is VO2, which is the amount of oxygen that the body utilizes in a minute. And of course heart rate, which is calculated by the number of heartbeats per minute. The Vo2max direct method of testing records data from all these parameters to provide us with a better understanding of an athlete's cardiovascular and metabolic capabilities. So let's move on to the results. Over here we have minute ventilation over time. This graph helps us to determine at which energy system the athlete is working in. Let me explain. At low exercise intensities, the muscles demand little oxygen and energy. We call this phase 1. As exercise intensity goes up and the metabolic demands increase, the muscles start releasing lactic acid, which prompts the breathing rate to increase to remove it. And here we see the corresponding shift in linearity of the graph. We call this phase 2. If the exercise intensity continues to rise, there will come a point where the body cannot remove lactic acid as fast as it's being released. This build-up causes the minute ventilation to increase again. And of course we can clearly see the second shift in linearity. We call this phase 3. The points at which these changes happen are very important. The first one is called the aerobic threshold, and the second is called the anaerobic threshold. Depending on the sport that you are participating in, knowing at which phase your body is in during training can be very helpful. This is where heart rate comes in. If we plot our athletes' recorded heart rates across the same graph, we can see the first threshold, his heart rate was recorded at 160 beats per minute, and 190 beats per minute at threshold 2. Now all he has to do is strap on a heart rate monitor during workouts, and he will have a good estimate of when he passes through the various thresholds. Finally, we have the VO2 graph. We care about the highest value, known as the Vo2max. This is the maximum amount of oxygen that the athlete was capable of using per minute. So there you have it, the Vo2max test in all its glory. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Alright guys, that's it from us.
Thank you for watching.
Until next time, train hard.
Cheers.